Linux, I'll overload. They control the skies, they control the night, but I'm the ghost, I'm out of sight. This branch, progress is a cycle and we're all...
Welcome everyone, NoTech was just finishing a replay. Welcome everyone. Here, look at this. Psst. Psst. You need a PowerVR driver because our clanker overnight, it's like we implemented a disassembler, an assembler, a compiler, a geometry. It's like it's starting to run. It's like nobody has done that in 20 years. Clanker overnight. I mean, obviously only under my supervision. Yeah. It's the clanker is constantly taking shortcuts and is trying to lie. The gears do not yet work as amazing, but I guess we have most things to actually write a fully working driver. So that is currently a direct DRM thing. It is also reusing their kernel driver, but getting there, right? Like one bloody night, one night, it's like I'm done. Yeah, we burned some millions of tokens. Of course, it's crazy that you can do this for less than $100 in the subscription. Of course, the virtual costs are higher. Here, like I woke up in this morning. This only took like 1 hour. I told it like write a Hool shader compiler for this use either here. GoalMet working GLSLES use their internal universal shader whatnot compiler thing. Validated against known input and output things. 0 failures, passes, things, stuff. Wait, what was it? Two times size versus imagination. What does it mean? Size versus result 2x. Size versus, what precisely does size versus imagination mean? Anyway, we have most things. Then I told it this morning to write some more better examples like gears and a spinning cube. It's not yet perfect. It's also lying and often mixing in things. Without me, it wouldn't do that. I constantly need to do that, but and welcome everyone. I constantly need to do it. That is wrong. But this gears no peer 1. That's the right scale, but the rest is garbage. Untouched parts allowed to target. Yeah. So for example, it worked in a smaller buffer, and I told it like, dude, that's not what I wanted, and that's yeah. So it still needs human supervision. As you see here, so renders, coverage, jump things, so the geometry didn't match. Then garbage, classic stride mismatch, buffer 1 render target, RT strides family matches, captures exactly also second, surface descriptor, patching all 3, gears no peer 1 at the right scale, but the rest is garbage, is untouched. Yeah. Is that not amazing? Like the main question now is, so we have still, so this is not a complete driver, that is the first proof of concept. Coverage exactly quarter off. The conclusion, the tilesager only rasterizes the 8x8 tile grid from the replayed parameter buffer. Also, next I need to tell it to not use any replayed things. Okay, that's getting in the right direction. Yeah, I could capture this, but it's VGA, and I'm not. Some people here do not share, like, and subscribe enough for. Right, can post this to it. It's also mostly not worth it, right? My time and overhead of setting up this capture here is not worth the blockiness is upscaling. Let me properly smooth interpolation. Do not interpolate render at target resolution. I mean, every small, like the cube Instagram post is amazing, or no, that is the cube is from our reverse engineering. The cube is reverse engineer all the stuff and write new code from scratch. So the gears do not yet work. So that's the gears right now. That's mostly fully reverse engineered. So this is without Mesa. This is our reverse engineered vibe coded demo directly talking to the kernel driver of like, here's all the low-level stuff and pass it to the GPU. GLX gear is not yet perfect, as you see. As you see, the thing here constantly takes shortcuts and is lying to me. But if you constantly tell it not to, like, if you constantly tell it to do the right thing, did I even, wait, did I, wait, why is there no, that is funny, I thought I had, this here's, by the way, a video how it reverse engineers, right? So, I told it to analyze the proprietary driver's buffer content stuff, so that is like rendering some small things and capturing what the proprietary driver passes to the kernel and to the hardware, so that it overnight, I had it running overnight, right? Overnight is like this detail, that register, this bit. It's like, okay, I figured it out, right? This is X, this is Y, X, Y, Z, color, songs, texture, right? Yeah, so this is also so wrong. This is probably 128. It cheated a little bit here, because this is so blocky because it used a 128 by 128 pixel. So that this is why it's so blocky. This is also not yet. This is maybe also why it's the same blocky. Did I? I thought I had updated this. Somehow I didn't update this correctly. Yeah, this is sometimes doing strange things here. This cloud syncing stuff. The thing is, we could probably mostly reuse it if we target T2 and iPhone things, font all 60. So that basically, I constantly need to supervise it, right? It needs a 10x GPU engineer to constantly tell it that is wrong, like do it this way, like no, obviously not that way. Heap shadow things, a piece of missing. So basically I told him to do gears and texture cubes this morning because I was sure there will be bits missing, and like basically correcting like as you see line 177. The heap shadow at dvert holds a seal value. That's the piece I'm missing. So your full size dependent state list. That's the missing piece, right? Font all 16, tile shadow, 12 dvert, viewport quad, patch the complete set. That's exactly what I expected. Native stuff, let me confirm, looks right. Check per clear, still masking anything. The main thing we need to decide is, and thank you for pinning that, which model that is. What is the name of this stuff? Opus 50. The main thing we need to decide whether because the problem the upstream people have just deleted fixed function 3D. Isn't that convenient? Just now that we finally get to reverse engineers, clean gears things. Let me confirm per. Since the last model Fable Soul, I don't see coding by hand being a requirement in the coming years. Or of course, like, so it is more requirement than ever, because if you also, like, this is a little bit slowish, so there's still some. The requirement will be people need to be perfect, because if you're not, you need to be better than AI, otherwise you will be jobless. If you're not a 10x engineer, I'm really sorry to bring it to all of you. Like, if you're not a 10x engineer, there is no place for you in code. So yeah, that's much better here, but it's also slowish. But I hope we can fix it eventually. Yeah, if you are not very good, you are not needed anymore for code. I'm really sorry. Because like, if you can't code, then the CEO can prompt himself, or the CEO can tell the AI to prompt other AIs. So, okay, it's capitulating. So here, that's much better. It indeed improved that, so it's not yet perfect. Maybe the geometry is simply not better. But this is not my main concern. We will. My main concern is to have all the details, and maybe we actually should get the Kuro out, because the Kuro should be a similar generation. Maybe we can get Kuro and this supported in one go, one shot. Basically, we need to repeat this with the Kuro. I'm having here some old system with the AGP Kuro 2 that I have, previous videos. So clear things, it's still capitulating here. Running the screen native, no upscaling. Make sure all command all I could check myself, and eventually we will check myself. Man, this background's on such a vibe. No, I don't like this vibe. Make no mistakes. Reverse this overnight. Do you listen to music while programming? No. Listening to music decreases my efficiency by 10 times. Usually, mostly. I answered this before, though. I probably need a about page with the I need the FAQ page. Help a lot. Must say something still. Do what? Do you listen? Understanding, knowing, writing code, still things. Well, yes, understanding, knowing, coding, right, still be necessary, but on the job, how to proceed is. It's probably changing a lot. Yes, if whether we like it or not. I just adapted to like. I'm just adapting to, as I cannot purchase memory or SSD because 10x prices, I just make sure I token max for cheap until the companies are bankrupt. Right, that is the line there. That's the line between a replay harness and a redriver. Let me inventory exactly what is still replayed. Yeah, I could have done it myself, but I can also ask like why do it myself? Things tractable, how it's repeated structures before writing the generator, not a copy, generally distinct structures. Let me get a complete picture, smaller buffers first. Amazing. I should quit here. Can we quit this here? So while we wait for Clanker things, so basically finally getting to do what I wanted to do, and I do not mind at all. I wanted to reverse engineer this for 20 years. I've not done this for 20 years because I'm just so busy, right? So I also, at my age, as you know, I'm 29 and a half. I do not want to sit here. That's not even fun. Like I've done it a dozen times, and with 100 scanners. I'm not sitting here anymore. And like, as I said yesterday, now it's old. Like even when it was new, wasn't high performance. Nah. I cannot sit here and reverse this all day. For me, it's more fun to like work with a result, like making a new driver. And so for us, the question is: should we somehow retrofit this to some Mesa Ember branch, or should we actually write some new graphic subsystem from scratch? Because the problem with, I theoretically, like maybe writing a completely new graphic subsystem from scratch is a better path, because the free desktop people made such a mess with Mesa Ember, it doesn't just work anyway. So in the long term, I want my own graphic subsystem anyway. Maybe that is the best, like takeaway here, the thing's chance. Yeah. Claudia, do this while I drink coffee. So yesterday we built PowerPC. I think it fully finished. The only thing is, of course, I run out of disk space at night. I kid you not. Thank you, AI. Let's maybe recompress because I'm not sure if this is complete because we still need to test PowerPC. Let's hope the rebuild with the secure PLT fixes PowerPC for us. Buffers, foregone things, byte identical output, no buffers, 3 coordinates, fixed function, BIOS, so stuff is things, size, dependent geometry. So maybe it is the best time. The best time is now to start a new graphics subsystem from scratch, because Xorg not amazing, Wayland not too deaccelerated and also not amazing, and Mesa 2D fixed function deleted, and in general not amazing. I don't know. On the other hand, of course, always retrofitting into the... What we could do is we could work with the last DRI2 Mesa not deleted and get that working first. But then again, as usual, when it works, there is little motivation to do some better graphic subsystem from scratch. Generator reproduce buffer exactly 42 dvert, 0 mismatches, verifying on hardware. Amazing. People are doing Wayland on CPU without element or GL whatsoever. Yeah, Wayland is only the protocol, so where you renders is another thing without LLM pipe nor GL whatsoever. Maybe, but the Wayland protocol is also like really like, as we wrote a Wayland client from scratch and I was shocked how bad this protocol is. I don't even... Yeah, but it's also really bad protocol. I don't know, you all. It's Wayland is like oof. Like the protocol for a client is like one of the worst. Like even Windows, like even Windows stuff from the 90s is like, I don't know, you all. Wayland is, but Wayland is a typical free desktop project. Like, sure, Xorg wasn't amazing, but I would actually go, that is the thing, I don't hate everything, right? Like, literally the free desktop Wayland, people hate Xorg more than I. I find for X coming from the 80s and 90s, it's actually a pretty reasonable protocol. Sure, there are some bugs, but hey, there are also bugs in Wayland. Bugs and security things, but it's like bugs and security things could be fixed, right? It's... it was completely strange. First of all, there, like, all the things were disconnected, like with input and Windows, and like I implemented Mac Cocoa and like AppKit and UIKit for iOS. I implemented Win32. I implemented X11, and from all of this, Wayland was by far the most annoying. Like, as much as I hate Windows, and Windows is 90s API garbage. Like, dude, Wayland is next generation garbage. Like, I've never seen such an annoying protocol. Like, it's literally the worst protocol I've ever seen. And coming from Windows, that says a lot. You basically need to here, maybe it was that one here, like how many hours, like 5 hours, probably this videos like this here. It was like super annoying, like it was really annoying. It was so annoying I forgot the details. I'm sorry. I only remember that like everything that should be tribal wasn't. All 4 generated, no removing init data dependency and line since every buffer is things generated. All 4 generated, no removing the init data. Init data is gone from DRMG as every buffer was render. The blockiness was a render limit. It turned out to be 16 dverts. Already recorded that size driven heap delta. With all 16 things, coverage matches, 128, 18 stuff, native, no upscaling, nothing, replayed. Parameter heap, raster geometry, command streams, draw records, each conversion was verified by the identical. One honest caveat with gen heap, dverts, the size dependent fields generally computed. 2 self-inflicted errors worth noting. I cut too much when exercising the old single things. Show gears on screen. Let's see. Well, feels like 5 years. Which one was the Wayland? Which one's a Wayland video? 5 years ago, man. Which one's a Wayland video? How long was it ago? 1 year ago. Okay, it shows something. Yeah, the way inclined we near go. It feels like we are hammering through your things. We get stuff done. Yeah, time flies. This is why initially, I mean, LLM not the right technology, and I hate environmental waste, but it helps me to get stuff done, right? Like basically, if I ever want to get like until I retire and stuff, if I want like, it is what it is, right? We will not. I will not get all stuff done without embracing AI, as long as it so it's a new Power PC. Let's test off in Powerly. Rebuilding the M-Cube on top of fixed units and all of it rather than patching the old copy, yes, of course. Microkernel and PowerVR? Anyone? I wonder if that would work on a frame buffer. Yeah, so given that all the infrastructure is so deleted and was anyway not good, I want to do it from scratch. But given I want a result, like if we want to ship it into T2 Linux, how do you extract things to, what do you mean break the, what means break the PowerVR? The cool thing is, so how to extract secrets, this code, this LLM was probably trained on the company's proprietary secret build. So remember, they trained this with all the codes they found, right? So they probably found leaked sources. So, and then, of course I have the hardware here, but basically given it was trained, that's the thing, right? The more they train on stuff, and maybe even Microsoft and Apple using it, and maybe they snoop up some stuff Apple and Imagination and stuff vibe code there, the more we can extract, right? Like, of course I have the hardware, like analyze, find all the driver objects and hook in there and capture data, but it's of course also hallucinating its previous training set, right? So basically we extract all the proprietary secrets out of the training set to speed run here a driver, right? And if the commercial companies say, you know what, that's fine, like training on open source and using it for our proprietary code, that's fine, then it's obviously identically fine for us to extract all the proprietary secrets out of it, right? Leaked, cuff, they probably somehow got their hands on closed sources. I don't know. The thing is, I cannot directly use the leaked sources because the leaked sources did not look particularly amazing. That is why I mean, first of all, if we just use their leaked sources, that would be a little bit illegal. Although maybe 10, 20 years later, nobody would care anymore, but their leaked sources also looked like garbage. A friend told me. Obviously, I've not looked at that. So, all 16 native stuff, things, DRM cube, rebuild stuff, frame 1 things, frame 60, frame, patch saves, verified things. I haven't shown gears. Show cube. So it should be higher resolution, and oh, that's freaking slow. And it's not fully perspectively corrected. I think, I mean, although perspective, okay, I think it must be some perspective corrected, because otherwise it would look even worse. Although some things here do not really like fully perspectively corrected, but nah. Yeah, so this Intel drivers for this Pulseful stuff never were fast. Is it illegal if you extract it then run how illegal? How that illegal? Well, I mean, I use their service, right? They say their service is all proper, so I mean, realistically, it had no reverse engineering licenses. Yeah, but this no reverse engineering clause, that's not legal, that's not upholdable. Like, this is just wishful thinking. Like, all, like, even Windows, Mac OS, like, all software has no reverse engineering clause. It's not really, I think, probably previously proven to be upholdable in court. Also, I did not agree to this license. I only installed Ubuntu, right? Like, so theoretically, it's like I just installed Ubuntu and used it. Like, I didn't sign a license, right? It still needs to be directed with the mapping to some other driver to run it. Zero calls with auto wrapper interact with. I mean, under user time dominates 7 verses and scales exactly with so things. It's per pixel CPU loop in our process, not the GPU is a suspect readback. We walk the render target 1 pixel at a time straight out of map GPU. What? What do you do? Bulk copying? Oh, it copies that? It what? What? It did what? It did 3x faster. I don't want one more clear win frame does 2 integer divisions per. What are you doing? What is Cloudyear doing here? That is the kind of stuff I mean, maybe you would have, like, maybe a beginner would implement strange stuff. It appears to me, I didn't look at all the code. I scrolled the code and it was the usual wipe coded stuff. CPU readback stuff. Yeah, wonderful. 3x is still bloody. Also removed things. So it looks to me it copies that from I mean, maybe it's an implementation detail because we run this present blit. Wire up the present blit. Because this GPU is a coprocessor, like similar to the latest PowerVR that we did for RISC-V, and the original PCX2, which we also have in our collection. It renders, it's like, so the original PCX renders in system memory, or actually it DMAs onto the GPU frame buffer, and the actually I wonder where this renders. It could theoretically, yeah. So the original performance of this Intel driver is also garbage. Like, this Ubuntu does not run well, which is ridiculous that Intel wrote 2 different drivers and they both sucked. I also removed 2 integer divisions per pixel from the window blit at things that was 500,000 divides per frame. The remaining time is now the 1 megabyte frame copy itself memory bandwidth. So it's copying that from wherever it renders to. But this is a 2 gigahertz. Why is it hallucinating a 1.3 gigahertz Hutlon? This is a 2 gigahertz Hutlon. At things at 7 to 20. I mean, it's not amazing, obviously, but no. Like all the, like, first we need correctness. I was just like, dude, this is bloody slow. Okay, now it's usable slow. For me, protecting code feels so wrong. Especially, so for me, it feels wrong that, do you have a 3dfx glide API? Yes, I have. I have a Voodoo 2 and a viewer donated Voodoo Banshee. I have fear. I have collected, like, I have a living computer museum here. What the other free desktop and Linux Linux Foundation and Free Desktop Foundation throw away. I collect and preserve here everything. The blit destination is resolved by raster relocation buffer, which maps through the raster list X own buffer, and DRM quad substitutes its own precisely. Oh, that runs so much better. Like do it, not closed it. Running on screen, but I didn't have that, yeah. Doom, Quake, Crisis. Does it run Crisis tomorrow? Render target, uncached 4-byte load things, what's remain things if you want path pursuit. If you want that path pursuit, the traceable route is DRI, open connection, device info, hand back the frame buffer handle, which is precisely relocation waiting. You know why? First actually. So you guys, what do you want to see? A Mesa driver, which would be slightly older Mesa because fixed function Mesa deleted, or a new stuff from scratch because what rude. Okay. Where was DRI? So the other thing is DRI1. That is with all the Linux Foundation delete, right? DRI1, DRI. I hate this place. I need to move. Can you all need less ambulance, man? Start from scratch. So DRI1 is deleted. Is DRI2 also deleted? I think isn't DRI, or is DRI actually VNT2 we restore quite anyway. Implement DRI1 and get FB. Can I zoom in on the video? I can. Audio. Background things, implement things, if you wanna pause pursuit things. Didn't we? Yeah, we even restored I think we even restored DRI1, which actually the next thing is, like, I could sit here all day long and make all the old code great again, because like the old restored, like we have still 2 drivers to restore, like Sun fast frame buffer, and I'm pretty sure we even undeleted DRI1 for Matrox and stuff. Which is crazy that our small project undeletes everything, right? But here, look, now it's more amazing. Just 2 prompts and half an hour later, and stuff is more amazing. If that ain't amazing, I don't know what is. Quake, Doom, Crisis. Okay, we also have PowerPC. So while this is hallucinating, there are quite some pieces to rewrite here, because they also have a custom Xorg driver. Map 0 is frame buffer type. Yeah, published stuff. So, maybe we do wipe this overlay here and turn on the cube, huh? And hope we can ship it. Because we might also have Claudia fix here LLVM PowerPC things. Let me just change here my fans to fan more. The thing is, my desk here is so full. I have here my desk, Sony Vario P, G4, Apple G4 Cube, Itanium G5. Like I literally sit here like in Passport Snowfish from the Hollywood movie things. Otherwise, I would take a Kuro out, and I have literally no space here. I need some abundant industrial space. And Claudia, find me somewhere in abundant industrial space for cheap. Okay, exact. I spin init. We do I like T2 Linux? Like T2 Linux is so great, man. Like I don't understand why anyone would use anything else. I have here bin bash thing. Yeah, that fixed it. DD aligned CPU stuff. Fix alignment arch. Why do we have here fix alignment? Kernel line 343 fix alignment. UDEF worker. What? Okay, that's way better than yesterday when everything didn't work. The only problem is we potentially may have, or like I should have actually booted with, because our T2 stuff might try on this humble cube to boot into KDE Plasma, and given that the Radeon driver, did we even try KDE? Like holy shit, did we even try KDE Plasma on? We only tried X, right? I have so no idea. Like remember when we vibe coded a GP? Like we vibe code so much shit here, man. It's mind blowing. Later I will make a video summary. Also later I will play with my child later. Let me. Okay, maybe 18 to 20. We vibe code so much shit here. We serial vibe code and fix so much shit. It's ridiculous. We still have this, and this is why the G4 cube is also, I wanted to sooner than later finish vibe analyzing why AGP still locks up on the cube, or any 30-qubit PowerPC that I own. Yeah, we need to stabilize DRI1 things. We need we are so close to have all the details working again. Did I mention you can support this craziness? We need to shout this out more often to motivate people to not forget to support this. Because in the meantime, somehow it became, I don't know how, but somehow it became my full-time job. Next we need documentation, website, what's a startup. So it's, yeah, the shared MIME info is killer. It's bloody slow. So IMMTLID probe answers the question, but not the way you'd want. Do you publish a deliberate stub from the DDX own sources? DDXs? command, no path, shared area. So this area is a shared area of DRI1 things. And back frame buffers, tried placeholders labeled fave values by the drivers, confirmed against the live system without needing at all animating. Shared mem frame buffer map is FB physics matches the source exactly. The kernel driver adds no frame buffer map on its own, the only DRM add map. The recent architecture of the external DRM is a flat frame buffer client map drawn into. This is a TTM driver. Buffers are shared as objects, not as offsets into an aperture. So dear frame buffer geodes were stubbed out with the driver moved. Real handle lives. The window buffer are TTM buffer objects owned by the X server, and the root to them is DRI2, which is advertised by the running server, but it isn't its own DDX. We have no source file and mentioned DRI things. That makes the present Blitz targets reachable only through binary stack on the system. Just get it done, Claudia. I was already wondering that this is DRI1, but that's what... Oh, we have an issue. Maybe... Yeah, it probably... Oh no, we actually still tries... It probably tries to start KDE. Yeah, T2 is mostly booted, but on the G4 cube... Yeah, we should not have done that here. That's oh, that shuts down. Like, dude, like T2 Linux became so amazing, man. Like from where we left after a decade of desktop neglect to the state, like, if just upstream. I mean, the good thing. I mean, in the meantime, as much as I hate that upstream destroys everything and destroy, delete, and stuff. The good thing, everything only works in T2 Linux. It's like I pay Linux and Free Desktop Foundation to break and delete everything. So it's so mind-blowingly stupid. I have no words. But thank you for look, it's ebbing. So we reboot, and yes, I know you don't see this because this DVI does not always work, but DRI is only in the service generic module, has a none, and the DDX doesn't register, but DRI passes the driver private struct, but that's not open. Let me look. It sounds like they implemented some complete garbage here, like they implemented some really cursed... Like, if that's correct, what Claudia hallucinates here. This is mind... Maybe we can't show you the driver source because it's so mind-blowingly bad, maybe. Cursed stuff. So I did I add 2? I hope I rebooted with 2, right? I think I added that here. Yes, this should give us text mode. Do you know if interrupts can be used to pass arcs for routines between different use space programs? Because interrupts? No, you cannot directly. You cannot interrupts. Do you know if interrupts? Arcs from routines between different user spaces? You want shared memory for that file system? You want to maybe Google IPC and shared memory? We can show you the code because it's not long. Yeah, I have like literally no idea what they. Oh, this. I have no, like, yeah, it's, yeah. Oops, off by 1. We need to be careful. I need to be careful what I press here with. Also, I can plug this capture in once it's more booted and stuff. Okay, let's try if it captures. because somehow this Cube AGP card does not always capture. I don't really know why. Doesn't capture today. Why does it not capture? No HDMI signal detected. Yes, signal though. Strange. I mean, it might be a too high resolution. This might run at 19. Might run at 16 by 10 by 1920. But, that is. Did we crash it now? No, it doesn't USB forward. Maybe this capture dongle thing crashed. No, oh, damn, this was working a second ago. Maybe the high resolution crashed it. Never know with this stuff. Mouse. I mean, very ruddy. Look here. Sometimes touching mouse. Why should I touching mouse advertise? So, what the wire are present, but with that handle. So what did it? Got the frame buffer handle, scan out buffer, ID things, stride dev, that's a live front buffer, and it turned out to be the wrong door. The tray said before road protocol things. DRI is advertised only because X-Server loads the generic module. PSP DDX never registers DRI screens, so things get buffers. The remake is a GPL driver all along. DRM Sarah publishes scan out buffers ID, DRM buffer shared, which stride reside handle series, an ordinary DRM shared memory map, which is neither DRI nor any X protocol. It's just the map in its own. I look at struct shader, hard coded size, things varies, X version scans, small names cannot follow. The side benefit PSP relog magic 6767. Like, why is it 67 not 69 or 42? It's defined right before the struct, which identifies things weird and saying heap and bug mine away. I broke the map loop. 2 bugs of mine on the way. I broke the map loop and first failure instead of and probe safe there on the target next to Why does this still not work? Oh, what? Oh, it works. Yes, you will see something in a second. I just need to enable SSH. Generating, why does generating key pair take so long? System control enables HD servers no system control. Oh, we need. I mean, you don't need, but would be nice to permit root login. What is IP? IP is 102. Yes. So the thing here now is, so that's a cube. So we fix it, yay. Why is this alignment fix here? Intuitive worker, strange. Okay, this is our fix that does so much fixed here, only working on T2 Linux. I mean, we could start X. It probably will not go well. Because that's not yet fully fixed. Yeah, I think the GPU reset already. I think it crashed already. Yeah, still need to fix this. Now we need to reboot. Yeah. But what I wanted to actually test today, like one step, you know, one small step a day. What? Driver auto detect option. This can also auto detect, as well as this one here. Unfortunately, reboot because driver. So was taken texture, no output. That's concerning. Checking carefully. Side benefit magic. Now this is probably this is not an opcode. It's probably just magic to identify that there's like sanity check that it works. Reference successfully size things. Whole panel GPU offset. Let me wire it as in rasters, passes destination, taken texture, repeats, my branch was unreachable, switch to this FB, no output, that's concerned, checking carefully. Oh, it doesn't have Firefox. Oh no, does it have Firefox? It's a good, actually, we might have, I think I skipped Firefox. Why did I even skip Firefox? Need to test this. Oh, I skipped this. Oops, wrong turn. So without no SL, which we still need to fix. Yeah, we spent already a night of wipe fixing on that, or 2 days or so. At least it mostly works, but nah. This is if I plug in the capture, it probably would work now. Why does this not USB? Okay, YOLO, I also don't need this. It doesn't USB right now. Maybe this RISC-V stuff is out of sync again. What I wanted to test is, this was crashing previously, maybe it still does. Yeah. Segmentation fault. Cloud fix. Why does this segmentation fault? Clicks info already? Why? Segmentation fault? Does this already JIT something? Oh, this probably doesn't dump because... Why does it say no stack? What? Ah. Okay, that already jits, I guess. Potentially, maybe. Actually, this is a little bit strange. I guess, Claude, you got something to do. Oh, that's because of that. It's a stupid thing. Ugh, holy. So much details to take care of. Oof. Yeah, we should just add support for that to Cling. Damn it. So then let's go into, actually wait a second. Reverse engineering details. So, PowerPC, rsync, here 26 build, found it, use after unmap, I wrote unmap. Yeah, this stuff is randomly trying stuff, learning C by manual from a Python learner using, is like some real pain. Any tips? Understand computer architecture. I mean, any tips? Keep going. Maybe you need to dive deeper into computer CPU architecture to better understand C. No, it's not running 67. This is just some magic number. They even defined it as magic. This is just some identifier of like, this is really PowerVR. They could have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or dead beef or coffee babe or whatnot. Writing JS engine. I want to separate from programming so I can't engine memory things. 32-bit override, 32-bit prefix override, like mob things. Well, they are not running this. Again, I think it's even defined in the header as magic. It's just some magic marker of like I'm really that. Oh, we saw something. Rendered without incidents. Let me full output whether blit is real. Substitute received exactly our render. So the raster pass doesn't present. The question is, actually saw that, but the screensaver was on. It literally painted over the screensaver. Present blit works. Picture is physical picture. Change bbox. Blitz geometry. Single frame test shows 0 because X repaints from person. Alright, screen. So here we actually I wanted to debug something else. I wanted to debug jitting things. I'm not even sure why this sec falls now. Why is this taking so long? That is pretty dangerous. Oof. We should back up this reverse engineering results. Not that we accidentally wipe it. So this should cut some buffer copy that should directly render to the frame buffer. This should be way faster than copying data out of there. It's funny how long this always takes. It's funny that this hallucinates that long, man. It's pouncing that like... You know, I didn't ask to reanimate a dead horse. I asked to just run it. Why do I not see something? Running shell? Why do I not see something? Hello? Oh, maybe it doesn't DRM GPU log. Not sure what it pounced, but I didn't see something. So, what was the IP? Only artifact, not our cube. Yeah, sometimes I need to stop AI hallucinating, otherwise it takes wrong turns. Yeah, as you see, if we would do this without LLMs, I would fix myself to death here. Everything is constantly so broken. Okay, let's first debug GLX info. It's anyway both crashing. It's ridiculous. There's literally no point for me to debug this manually anymore. Like, why should I waste my precious lifetime to debug other people's upstream bug crashing? If you tell the AI to stop hallucinating, it might give more accurate output when the AI doesn't know. Welcome, joining the stream. I also probably should eat a yogurt. You know what? Maybe. I mean, how does it log in that it doesn't get a full pause? Strange. So I know that the JIT stuff, I expected the JIT stuff to fail, but this doesn't really look like JIT. This looks like an Gallium. Strange. Need yogurt hungry. Operator hungry. Soft pipe crashes. What do you mean LVM isn't available? What do you mean soft pipe? What? What do you mean soft pipe crashes? What do you mean LVM pipe? Huh? Expected what? I mean, it should have been LVM soft pipe. I just don't know why. Just leftover honey here, so that I always put some honey into my plain yogurt. That's just leftover honey. It's hard. Honey hard. Caveman. There's a caveman mode too. Does it somehow not detect LVM pipe? I don't understand. Did it build without something? Yeah. LLVM enabled. What does it do? Soft pipe? Or do we need to unknown generator expression? Soft pipe, soft. Is that not LLVM pipe or is it another soft pipe? I lose overview of this stuff here. Isn't gallium soft pipe LVM? Oh no, there is LVM pipe. Why is here no power PC? Basically all we have shouldn't that do MIPS too? And now we also have, do we not also have IT? Oh, probably. Oh, they don't have all JIT. But has MIPS JIT. Yeah, I guess we can test build some. But how did this build previously? I can't show it with. I'd rather tell you exactly why neither field moved it. Test 2 got wrong. Alright, written things wrong. Both decodes clearly as bottom things exactly. Convincing and both were wrong. I reverted both edits rather than leave code carrying what I can show on screen right now as a cube. Say a word and I run it. Wait, what? Did I forgot Tunisia? Oh, here's Tunisia. Okay, what did Claude hallucinate so far? The crashes generated dynamic TLS sequence get address, return garbage. Can I make this shit up? You fix system D, you break that. Okay, let's stop wasting tokens. Let's first rebuild with LLVM here. Oh, here's a cube. There is a cube. The cube is on the panel, presented by the GPU with no CPU in the display path. Scan out buffers, try things and stuff. The roll-ins. What solids the scanner handle comes from the scrubbed DRM piece. Silence the GPL header, no things needed. Referencing raster validates, both remain. Destination, extend bounds, answers discrepancy, live SSL undecoded region, and the way to settle them is differential method that worked. Yeah, figure out how to. I want this. We need this. Okay, we just did run this, right? Did we just run this? Looks like it. Thank you. Mali phone drivers are basically awful. Cherry tags. Practice makes the master. Little Padawan. Imagine you would do this manually a week or two or a month. Like we did in the past when we were young and naive. I guess initially we will replicate this kernel interface just for stability. How to program, at least it probably start a Kickstarter or Patreon or something. I mean, given the vendors login, like given doing your own Android is not easy. There's literally, I mean, the Mali drivers work, right? Now I have the fields. Divert stuff, origin, extend, surface. X simply moves the window between runs, but I set those split state 128 or something outside the heap bounds that let me diff the buffers. Present destination is a tile rectangle. Found at the bonus in the raster command stream, not the heap. Actually, here we wanted to reboot while it's fusing. What's going on here? Oh, it didn't reboot. Why did it not reboot? It happened yesterday already once. Strange. Some Linux reboot issue on Cube? That's unfortunate. How does it go? Amazing. Given the LLM is trained on all the proprietary stolen code they could find, we can... It certainly helps to, hey, what do you know about this? And write me, like, here's hardware. Randomly try, like, not, yeah, randomly test the vendor driver and like, trace and decode. And thank goodness it was trained on all the sources they could, secret leaked sources and other stuff they... I mean, that's the thing in the future. If major corporations wipe code and those companies steal and copy all their tokens, then and train on them what Microsoft and Apple wipe code, then it's like, hey, do me some Asahi Linux, right, from Apple's yesterday's wipe coded stuff. Found that bounds raster command things index error wrote stuff, but their value things correct slots are in 29 31. The only ARM I messed around with is Broadcom, Raspberry Pi, only read about others. Assume everything must be Broadcom. ARM is I am everything always. No, there are 100. There are 100 or like probably 1,000 ARM companies. Formula reproduces the capture values exactly. The hung run still holds log checking. Okay, what's G4 booting? Okay, G4 booted already in beautiful T2 Linux. So, did I mention? I love T2 Linux. So start eggs. No, something happened. Now the whole screen turned black. GPU was wedged. Oh, it rebooted. Does it reboot? Yeah, the stable is like, yeah, this binary only driver is not entirely stable. What did it do here? Reboot? Oh, it rebooted. Cool. Yeah, this is quick file some CVEs. 15-year-old Debian stuff, not stable. If you randomly write data, it crashes. Still core dumps? But this should now be visible LVM pipe. Or is it stupid? Why is everything always broken? I hate this. I rebuild Linux and shit is broken. Like why? Welcome to my life. 26, 20s. Yeah, 26. 28, 29 years of constantly broken shit, man. Yeah, there's OVM pipe. Oh, we have that running. Um, okay. Let's post that too. And if you shall like, subscribe and support me a bit, we will soon have a behind the scenes camera. But we're still loading. Can we get here? Hello? It's not here. Yes, this is the latest. Directly scan out stuff, high performance graphic things. Globally hinted, awful performance Mali. Yeah, without AI I can't fix shit fast enough anymore. You all things. I watched the GPU getting here, I wrote a tie range. Like I wedged. Can you stop saying wedged? Do you? I mean, yeah, fix. What is it? 3.4? What is it? 3.4? The same 3.4. Blit writes recap. Would take them from the window position. Rejected submission kills it permanently. DMS confirms it needs to reboot. Correct slots are the change pixel bounding box things, column things, the same 3.4 I flagged before. Yeah, I mean at this rate we will soon have a driver. Session limit reset Z 2 PM. Okay, let's go. Same case driver independent. It's a PowerPC TLS pass. Like how did it, like it was working a month ago or two, or like why? It's like, guys, like why is like, man, I don't get this. Each time I like, oh man, you cannot make this shit up. Like how are they? I mean, yeah, which other Linux distribution except Linux cares about 32-bit PowerPC? But like, you'd expect of those glibc and GCC and stuff developers, or it's probably glibc or whatever, you would expect them to not constantly break their shit. It's like, yes, PowerPC old, but probably still used in embedded, right? Root cause come from the American compiler. Unrelaxable call. Like, what the fuck is even going on here now? Man. VBox starts things, blit write things, so the whole axis is scaled, not clipped. That's a signature of a bytes per pixel mismatch in my red reader. 3/4 directly instead of via XWD. It's cultivating, look. Video of the result and then saves code for what? Is it possible to have Cloud use an agent that could generate a driver that could work? Yeah, of course you can screenshot in live video things and stuff. Could totally do that. Color found pixel things exactly correct origin, and that's not 3 in the driver. Blit was always right. So XVD based measurement was an artifact. Okay, wonderful. Who else is thrilled about this driver? $24. I'd read that field as 32. I'd read that fields Xdata is saying those numbers frame to frame wrong, correct, fixed. FB scan, the bug was mine. In the measurements, not the driver. Rings worse. The present show cube on screen. No. Let's do something. Let's test multiple things. Let's test another size, and let's test gears. The gears were not yet 100% correct. And then, so how do we continue? We have the problem is I cannot directly test it with T2 Linux. We need to re-implement an X driver, and like even these examples. Okay, what we could potentially maybe do is try to blit it on the frame buffer without X. I don't think the AI could run the driver. You would have to run the driver. Check. No, the AI could run the driver. I literally do that here. The LLM secure shells into the target, copies and creates binaries as needed. We have done this for weeks, for a month. We know vibe code. We gave LLM access to the G4 cube. We gave it access to 486s with vintage GPUs. It even reboots, like LLM even reboots the G4 cube or this here. And if it totally crashes, you can give it a UART port with some power cycling control, like a relay or stuff. Hard things. It's not that hard. Like this LLM stuff makes it really easy to fully automate the whole process. Recommendations how to get. Yes, I have 1 second. Here. I wrote recommendations. Actually, I should get back and actually publishing. I didn't even publish something like in 2 months or stuff. Like, dude, I'm so busy. I should really, like June. Yeah, it's like, yeah. We built an audience and now we're not using it. We should so bloody use it. Here, but T2 looks actually. Oh wait, we can. Is this is it unstable? Is it like beta? Probably it's beta, huh? Current release. Why is this linking to the wrong thing? Okay, YOLO. Okay, we have gears. They're not gearing though, they're not spinning. The gears are on the panel presented by present, scan out, buffer object, stride, things, gears, vertices, indices, triangles, 400 frames exactly at the origin. Porting the present path, broad access 4 pieces, says serial, scan out, look up the buffer object reference in the raster validated list. The tie range computation generous. The extraction bugs of mine on the way both core things. The gears do not look that amazing, but I guess it's the geometry it generated. Yeah, I mean maintenance, I mean not that we do the best maintaining our website, like I totally understand. But the zero were usually developer, right? I'm a little bit perplexed that, but they say stable. .0 was usually developer release. Why is this not like a developer release? I'm not sure if Mesa is correct. If stable is correct. So they say current release. Previously, I mean, in a way, it doesn't even matter. No, it's wait, it's development. Yeah, for Onyx stable, say it's like no, it's development. I mean, yeah, given that shit is broken, I was like, no, my stomach's not the best. Maybe this yogurt was a little bit old. Not correcting the dev's claim I got wrong. Yeah, shall I subscribe to properly feed your favorite open source web coder? DRM use file loader is a modification patch whose base is pre-file verify. On the flag because written the opposite to the claims capture frame. That was wrong. TA relocation table. The XWD. Enable devs test and the ESP word and drop the sword. That sounds good. Okay, what does it debug here? Oh, long call. Minimal reproducer, 5-line shared things, choose PowerPC branches, Mazer to append, TLS model initial exec. Holy what the fuck? Root cause found and fixed. There is a channel verified. PowerPC generated dynamic TLS TTT TLS sequence initial DT opt because of the text glibc handler writes optimized encoding into the God pair is only decoded by a linker generated stub. Mesa adds long call that makes GCC go through the God slot. Minimal reproducer workarounds tested. I have choose initial exec over dropping test. Text is uncomfortably close to the long call are worth keeping. Change both branches. Mesa has been rebuilt with those flags. Underneath this is a generating toolchain bug worth reporting upstream bin util sets unconditionally even when call sites cannot reach the step. Cannot make this shit up. Why do we have this twice? This should not be here twice. Arch machine PowerPC. Okay, that's a genuine bug too that we have this twice. Devs is cleared each frame, agreement with sort frames, supporting DM code via verifying its size, enable devs test. What is ISP? Image service processor? Nah. What's your opinion on Codeberg's decision to block vibe coded open source projects? It's a bit censorship, right? In the future, it's a little bit silly. Thank goodness I'm self-hosting. It's like a platform telling you. I mean, I'm okay with you cannot. I would rather. I mean, yeah, it's that is the thing. Because like go to Codeberg and then Codeberg is just. And if we reverse engineer something with an LLM, like why should we not host it on Codeberg, right? I would rather a policy you cannot host garbage, like our bandwidth, like we need to actually do need to pay for this. Do they not also have stuff against crypto? I mean that's strange censorship stuff. I would rather some fair use policy of stuff, like if you have more than a minor project and that's causing bandwidth, then you need some subscription stuff to pay for it. But like outrightly blocking stuff, that's a little bit censorship, not free speech thing. And again, it's a tool. It's like saying you need to use a typewriter and you cannot send a library, like maybe upvote, downvote system or something. Upvote, downvote for Codeberg? No. Like just because people hate your project, it shouldn't be banned. Looks like a new stable. DRM gears, no uses hardware test. ND fails, back to sorting. Comparison stays reproducible for. Like basically bench performance. Wait, that's wrong. What do you upload here? Bigger reasons of what Codebreak is doing is that it's literally unclear how the world can't going to handle the copyright. I think because everyone is wipe coding, the world will settle. As usually they will settle for big business. I mean, like they usually do, right? Oh, what's that? Edit. Oh, cool. Thank you, Andre. Hmm. Um. Also, it's funny that the AI, the LLM, edit, like instead of saying, "Hey, the code line is duplicated," probably some editing mistake here. So instead, AI, instead of like, do you have a duplicated code line there? Maybe you don't want that. This is also like, this is what I hate with this GNU toolchain shit, like the old open source toolchain. Always is like that's stable, that's unstable, that's broken. Like two bros, like sisters, you like bro, you had one job you had, and let's see if it builds without this. I have the suspicion not. I added this because the code literally became too big for the jump targets, for the relocation targets. Gears runs 640 on the panel. Now take a visual input to reduce gears. The difference are the front back faces profiles. Okay, let's turn on Dart data. I mean, given the Itanium is still standing here, we could also test Firefox, like Dr. Schupet's final version of our Firefox JIT allegedly fully working. 800 triangles now. The notched faces and the frustum framing matches Chilix cases. Let me verify against the reasoning rather than I. It has AI, they have an I, it has an I. Is installed. That's both the visual reference and the phone performance baseline. Buffer to pipe, let me add captured window first, then the FPS over PTY. It could literally just copy the geometry from the open source Chilix gears. Okay, what is, did we, oh, it built accidentally. So this, I leave it in here because it might be needed. It just accidentally, I mean, hey, maybe due to deleted features. The blue classifier catches our, reads as blue, background is excluding it. Gears run things. Excellent agreement, vertical centers. Blue matches within 003 on every measure. Residual things now the benchmark Chilix gears buffers, so I need the PTY. Let's hope that doesn't. I think it didn't V-blink thing here on this thing for reasons. Now the benchmark things. Now the benchmark buffer things. Why does it run that twice? Not sure if I did read compress, but Chilix gears 1800 frames, 360 FPS. No hours. Oh, hours is pretty broken. Presenting. Let me skip it when we presenting it and it's showing a window. Oh no, it's but yeah, it's pretty broken. It's pretty broken. What did it do? Presenting as 3.200 versus. Let me find that broad bounds before reporting. Commercializing. Benchmarking crap. Here it did I not post it yet? Should have posted that yet. Why did I old yogurt? My stomach is not happy. Shit. Was still valid 2 days. Meantime between failure. Pro tip, don't let yogurt for weeks when you leave and come back and stuff. Yeah, that's not rendering correct. That looks like ATI stuff we recently fixed. Confirmed the mapping produces negative set everywhere. So every fragment clamped to 0 and the dev test results nothing. My substitution dropped the sign, fixed solid surfaces with tooth profile. No speckling, no re-verifying against. Re-verifying things and re-benchmarking. Wonderful. Subpixel at 320, the earlier red-green deltas were is it guessing they were the broken depth distortion. Oh, that looks better. Look, we have GLX gears. We have gears. We have DRI gears. We have DRI gears. Look, it still needs a human for eyes. You were right, it was broken. Course was yours. Projection stuff fixed. Surface are solid again. Things within things. Benchmark. FPS stuff. GLX gears 300. Binary stick 304 with readback. Average things 5-4 intervals, so we're about 1/3 binary driver as matched at match size. Two things stand out: skipping the CPU readback. I mean, obviously. I mean, yeah, don't do CPU readback like you. Bound per frame overhead, not fill rate, likely causes block on the fence about each of the two submissions per frame. Fully things where the binary driver pipelines I haven't isolated that, so I'm figuring is rather than asserting. Just make it go vroom vroom. Let's just make it fast, okay? Claudia, make it fast. I want to play Crisis. Here, now it looks correct. Now it looks correct. We can ship it. I mean, we are far from a driver, right? That's the first proof of concept prototyping stuff. But it's by no means a full driver. But this is a way, that is a hard, stony way. Like, usually this would have taken a month to do that manually. Like, nobody has done that in 20 years because of work. But would act some down things recently had to identify a PCA board turned out to be STB Voodoo. The seller is wrong, but the stuff it got wrong kind of led me to the right question. Why all the time? So, progress everywhere. Removing TA weight changed nothing. Wasn't a stall. Let me stop guessing and measure phase directly. So, oh, does it boot or does it again? Oh, this time it boots. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I need to move. Here, I have an idea. Nobody of you helped me with finding. Like, do I look like I have time to find a new property to move to? Find me an. Yeah, that's how you AI system. We call this loft, I don't know, like do find me property listings. I cannot click through all this stuff. Have you seen how much garbage property is for sale? Things. I ask you multiple times to find me something. Nobody found me something. So, does that do something? Okay, that does something. Does it helix gears? Oh, here, look. Yep, that crashes as expected. We know 38 rather than the remaining is where measurement says it's per frame TI submission IO size kernel validating 8 buffers applying relocations every frame almost no address between TTM pressure offsets. I've left firmware in place, restore fence weight so it stays with you. Okay, performance later. The CPU is recomputing lighting per vertex, but gears mostly fixed, so consecutive vertices repeat the same normal caching. The last normal lighting results normalizing the things for geometry things, output byte identical, rebench. Okay, amazing. Implement presumed offset. Presumed offset. So, things. Claudia, you have this is now finally debug what I wanted to debug. Only 2 hours. It felt like 4. Yeah, what we need to do next. I was wondering what model I'm using for all of this, Sonnet 5, or I'm using Opus 5. I'm using Opus 5. Okay, wait, 30% to stuff at reset 2 p.m. 14 billion tokens and counting, Opus 5 things. Smash that distro watch ranking. Exactly, that's the spirit. Exactly the spirit. You need to reload. Make this your start page, your challenge for today. Make this your start page and open your browser each time with that today. No gaps, decoded and proven on hardware. Currently ABI blocking gaps roughly in order. Memory management, largest by far. Everything so far uses a fixed 8 buffer, set inheritance capture. Real driver dynamic buffer allocations, parameter semantically generate things but chunks and constant rather than vertex shaders. Use the binary driver as TL on the CPU, even non-pixel cross capture things. GLS requires real vertex shaders in the process. No oracle, how it rated attributes reach, use, and how output is emitted is unverified. Our FF-gen vertex shader is remarked as unverified. Shader output uniform, compile shaders put constant secondary attribute, literally pull the temtem, something must upload, and ring must things, operands, encoding, other use things, texture, upload beyond sample case, sub-image updates, presentation, we bullet to a fixed origin, capture, redriver needs window positioning, obviously a residual 20 PDS instruction decoder from decoder never things. Yes, I've seen this shape of it. Nothing in the hardware programming is blocking anymore. What's left is mostly driver engineering, memory management, buffers, lifetime, upload passes, presentation policy, plus 2 focused reversing jobs. So vertex, data master pass, things operands, that's very different position from where the stands, where the command string was opaque. Okay, Cloudierr needs okay, let's give it LLVM. The thing is, I have here, or do we patch this? What is this help page? Here we need to espresso later, but here, this one here. Did I disable that? Okay, I had disabled that because I think it didn't work. Actually, did we even fully do that? I did this without vibe coding, it didn't fully work. Drink water, yes, of course. Colby. Coffee or water. See you a bit later. Notek, need things for a bit. Yes, totally. Have a good day. Two jobs, different character things. Build bit flip probe against imaginations decoder, the same methods. Complete subfield map from one probe. No SOP, SOP cross subform base split things, select SOP3 thing, vertex master data, the vertex parse is more visible than expected, the location declared explicitly. It's pollinating. Look, it's pollinating. Why does this not complete? Now it works. Yeah, this here was more fiddly than I expected. I wasted an hour on this stuff already and then it didn't work. And, plus complement opcode group, not oops. So both decoded complete field map, 1 bit flip swept through decoder mapped all 64 bits opcode things. Golden word documentation has been SO. The golden word system has been called SOP, actually disassembles two things between things. The vertex data master is siding in plain sight, the location declares it. Arg1 is data master, validation by the kernel, SBC, CAC DM, vertex 0, pixel splitting table things. So the vertex path isn't missing, it's the same use launched by different data master. The PDS DMA's attribute into primary attributes, the program moves in the output registers one contradiction could not resolve, won't paper over the driver writes screen space positions and copies them through unchanged. Yet the per draw state also carries a real viewpoint transform, not identity. Both cannot apply at the same coordinates. Either the TSV is for clipping and curved bend rather than transform all the emit paths bypasses it. That single question decides whether a vertex shader mid client space or screen space. It can't be settled with these captures. The driver never runs a computing vertex, but it's directly testable. Limit clip coordinates, draw the quad vertex and see whether Yeah, okay, test it on real hardware. Test the question on real hardware. Okay, what does it debug? Resolve things is exported. The file already has local modifications. Command let me check the package patch and get the actual failing relocation type. Things confirm frame as things default now the type value. Let me find the register holding it. You all here it found something Kreuzberg. What? What? It's realistic if you're looking for a shell abandoned commercial building, former workshop, exactly something like that. But what's this? No, kein Dachgeschosswohnung. Potsdam, I said 2000 kilometers. Like due AI unusable. Okay, freestanding. Some ground. Like freestanding without neighbors. I wanna have peace. Neighbors piss me off in the middle. So, byte identical, halving the scale, offset the BIOS, novelly push it to the extreme and unused from clipping only. Answers with control, proven the test was valid. The question is settled, the answer was less obvious one. The viewpoint group is a nerd. With the control, which conclusion rather than to change the depth word in that same state stream. It does change the image, the stream is live and consumed. Simply doesn't affect rendering, not a transformer, not a clip. Without the control, the null result would have been worthless. The stream look exactly the same. What's meant? Vertex data reaches the title search is taken in screen space exactly as written. Vertex shader moves in screen space coordinates. Falling also explains something I looked into oddity. The binary driver's vertex program were pure move emit because transform is already complete by this. It's not the drivers being lazy, it's a contract, the hardware expose on this path, the partial consequence. A good one, the vertex data master path is not fully spinning real vertex. Save auto docs. Let me check how to apply patch before editing. Triple cases, create stop, store, never. No triple PC case in create stop function, so PPC. Now let me check the full step size. Patch is applied from, let me snapshot the file and make the fixes. Now the 4 fixes. First enable. All saved. 8 patches, all verified applying. Things, it's shorter and better shape than gap length. What's missing? Move from unknown to decode but not implemented, and either use mechanism works. The vertex output moved open question. General open items are now dominated by driver engineering rather than reverse engineering, memory management, buffer lifetime. Things, stuff, implement in. Oh, why not? Implements this. Why not? What is the other Claudia? What's her twin doing? What is that? What? What did it do there? What is it doing here? PowerPC has neither function descriptors. No, okay, I probably got this pretty wrong. Now render to patch pristine upstream. Gets original file. Okay, water. Drinking water. So we could redo the same for the MIPS Creator Imagination CI20 board, MIPSL. Let me verify page. Who is happy? Oh, we didn't. Who's happy with the state of T2 Linux? Type anymore. Debugged and fixed just things. Oh yes, I knew that. I know what was missing things. Just this stupid human that partially implements this halfly wrong. Not yet verified. Patch it compiles. So let's see. LVM. It fixed that maybe. Call me maybe. Things missing things. We doesn't need that. Body neither function since the top branch only needs target things 1, 2, 3, 4. Things, function, step already created, just relocate to it, create a new step function, material things. Things, PowerPC arch return 16, runtime stuff of power has no function descriptor nor target, just means the target branch to it. Sounds good, I guess. Untested. Okay, let's be professional. Let's stop this untested business. Let's. Only one way to find out. Windows style menu bar. Which Windows style menu bar? What you talking about? Windows style menu bar? Windows style menu bar? What did I miss? Saved work stuff, reverse things, multi-bit speed, operand selects result things, no proves vendor decodes, exact things, character including these two things, bits with real, where I stopped short, opcode is a group, things select versus things, make others change round trip in dash R, saved things, multi-bit sweep. Oh, let's get some changes. So that's the reverse engineering documentation of this stuff. we miss here something? So probe work things of reference. So we need to start writing whole drivers then, or like Claude. We need to tell Claude to rewrite more drivers. Fields, enumerated stuff, things, range identical for corporate things, LVM building there. Okay, updates, some updates done. Still, so the remaining isn't. Let me identify rather than assume. Things, watch streak, amazing, welcome everyone. Why are so few interested in graphic GPU? Like nobody caring about old stuff anymore? Yeah, going forward, NVIDIA ain't safe. Like Claude reverse old NVIDIA bits, man. Pairing tries. Subfield in a real world. Yeah, so this PowerPC stuff, as you see, I do try to prioritize accept fun stuff like PowerPC, like this PowerPC LVM. That's of course unacceptable. So this is crashing. I tried to fix this now. Hopefully we really fixed it. We could fix Mesa, or we could commit Mesa already. We could, oh, did a GPT. Did some GPT things, amazing. Mesa, SOP enumerated, alpha site is running things, ASOP, ASOP implementing up from corpus use. Why is this flickering there? So strange. That's bizarre. Have you tried codecs? No. I don't have time to AI. I don't have time for hopping. I get stuff done. Why? Like, if I'm satisfied, why should I switch? Also, I paid for this $100. It should certainly token max the shit out of the shit. I free as much code as possible. If you took a short of writing some of the Android drivers for phones, kind drive, you probably get a lot of views. But I think honestly, it's probably way over the heads of like 99.9, not 97%. Also, I don't like. First of all, nobody cares about Android drivers. That's quite some wind going through it with the doors. It's probably a thunderstorm connection. Not that super crazy hot today. Compiler things, patched, regenerated, sweep things, source bank. I mean, okay, whatever. Yeah, give me something here. What about future 17? Here, like that's something, right? Alleinlage, isolated, yes, please. Just give me some old shit, man. The funny thing is I said 2000 square. I mean, there are some random things here. How about abundant shit? I want just my peas. Okay, that build, recompress and reboot. Let's hope it fixes Chilix gears. Add Marco, Markdown, Spirf, update, pins, pin 2, oof. Oh, we need some random version here again. Oh, damn it. Thank you so much for the work. Probably sounds good. What kind of switches do you use for your keyboard? The most important question. Keyboard, of course. Got you covered. Keyboard. We need to keyboard here. Gateron magnetic wide. Here. The keyboard is end of life though, and I should clean it. Gateron magnetic wide. In this new 5 field 75 so but it could improve some of the Mali drivers, even of the Mali thing, GPU for Android. The thing is, I wanted two Linux, right? Like, okay, so that compressed. Let's reboot. Let's rsync. What is that here? SU? Like no. Oh man. What kind of these decent drivers? Their loot, PC, phone gamers, look at emulation things. Yeah, but the thing is, Android is so locked down, right? We do Linux like we freezes stuff. Working with Android is absolute unthankful pain. So we rsync this, we are rebooting this. We're still rebooting. Okay. I wonder how those effects cling though. Both wrong. The sweep narrowed considerably but didn't close stays. Rose it just plain things too. Both wrong or heard both. Sharper statement of what's left. The gap is no longer source bang, it's narrow and more group things. Yours clothing is a clear inner-oriented crossing of stop tiras and things. Get one iteration corpus prints word things of okay, what we need is, can we control old stuff? Yes, we can. Let's see what it does to that. Okay, we booted probably in the meantime. Any issues here? Oh, here it works again. It jits. We don't see it though. I don't see it. Why is it not on screen? It's bizarre. Somehow it's not on screen. So that's of course software. Okay, now it's on screen. Amazing. We can ship it. This we can ship. We need to, is this x32 stuff fully? I mean, it's not, it's, yeah, it's credits, yeah. Things, just look at this beauty. Can't port as it asks as a reason where it's taking precedent isn't the frame buffer, the blockers tried 3D, the GPL gates every scene location, user space helper, X hardware, submit OK. 3D extension available. That string is present in the running things, the scene things. So with no X server there is no scene, and with no scene there is no cube couldn't render. That's unfortunate too. So yeah, this needs completely for future DRM stuff that needs to completely reworked. So it's complete garbage. Thank you for implementing it. This is just so shitty. The scan-out handle comes from the Sarah and it creates removable binary, everything else commands. So why? So the way to run without access to write a XHV responder ourselves, a small daemon that answers 14 requests. So what we actually need to go forward with that, we need an own X driver. So the only reason I wanted to test in frame buffer is to test with stuff, but as it appears we first need fully open source Octo driver. So we need to avoid error, like to fully understand this stack here and replace one component at a time. We first need a fully open source driver, as you see here, to test against. So we don't use Mesa, we don't use libdrm, we directly do DRI. It's the project's endgame, and we're scoping precisely because most of the is already open source. So interface is the GPL LPS tools interpools XPSP open. Did it not say most? What do you mean most? It told me it isn't. Where did it stuff? Tools XPSP open. Oh, I did. X server. Most of this exists. Mode setting things. What's closed is one shared object. The DDX loads XPSB, varying 2 heads, 7 entry points, hardware expander. That's why the protocol is GPL incomplete. The DRM thinks as much as the responder must answer already. Unknown scene allocation. Oh, why I stopped scoping right now? What mean? Just no demon. It's hallucinating again. I hate copy and paste in this moment. Each time I copy and paste something, it doesn't work. Upstream this thing here, right? This Ubuntu thing. This company's YOLO the shit together decades ago, like it's disgusting. What is that here? PSP Ethel things. So that's sharing I810 2030. Where is this binary? Where is this SO? Funny, where is this XO? Ah, blobs. Where is it coming from? That's even tiny. Like just recompile it. The scene info right series in the open. Yeah, like it's crazy that nobody has done this, and unironically stream title is always clickbait. Always clickbaits me. Yes, right. being treating you, it made me in 100x, and like it trans AI LLM. It's like it's not really AI. I refuse to call it AI. LLMs transformed me from a LLM transformed me from a 10x to a 100x engineer. I'm near the end of the context window. Near the end of the context window. Poor little Claudia. Yeah, let's token max before we go for lunch, and then we can in the afternoon re-implement this stuff. Disassemble scene switch things near the end of the context, so rather than push on. Half verified, clean hint of points of finding above words writing are recorded. Continue straight into the other two functions. Context window. Just get stuff done. Always these lame excuses. Previously humans, I cannot concentrate. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, no LLM. So there is responder function, reversed and saved things, 3 functions, F30 exported only scene info, plus things, limits hard constraint or policy. On board saved, leaves the project, reminding work capture campaign 14 request. No. Implement. Man, thank you for subbing here. Welcome everyone. Finish reversing, implementing, thinking with high effort. Which effort do actually? Okay, I have actually high effort. I can't finish this context I have left. Reversing remaining functions plus full driver in a multi-session job. No. And a half-written daemon can't build a test would be worse than none. Let me commit the part I can write and correctly verify. Handles. This thing is like this thing is tiny. Try refuses to make any without user space responder. What? The GPL refuses. I don't want a daemon. Welcome, Notek. I need to go for lunch in a minute. I'm off 5. In a fresh, in order. Did it save that? Can't finish it in this session. Everything saved. The 3 handlers are written, built clean, produce the same values, things tells correctly per hardware. Everything from this session is saved, 9 patches, lines of documentations. I'm not really sure why it refused to do its work. So Notek, we fixed LLVM, so we fixed Mesa to not crash on PowerPC. We fixed LLVM to finally JIT fully on PowerPC. We have Gelix gears finally running in software mode through LLVM pipe on PowerPC. We have mostly, but that's a multi-day job of figuring out why AGP crashes on the 32-bit power. Not AGP, why Radeon. Actually, AGP works more figuring out why the 32-bit PowerPC stuff crashes more than it should. But to go, actually, do we have here X? I don't like how hot this Sony Vaio P gets, so it's not ideal that it's getting that hot. That's the Intel thing, right? Low performance Intel Atom, and then it gets hot like a potato. Context window, lame excuse award things here. Yeah, I guess like graphic was always my passion. I always loved graphic things the most. Cogitated. I really, of the things I enjoy the most, we should go through the remaining stack of hardware things and reverse engineer them all. So compacting probably freed the context window, didn't it? API binary compatible XPSB as ONC. Let's see. We go to lunch and come back and it's done. At least that's my idea. If we are lucky, we even token max. Yeah, we still have quite some tokens, man. We didn't even token max that. We didn't even overflow the token matching here, man. Okay, let's not unnecessarily let the stream run here. So basically, I have to go for lunch. So I'll see you later, as usual, in the afternoon to finish open source work here. Don't forget to subscribe, support our work, and enjoy other streamers in the meantime. Have a good day and night, and I hope you enjoyed this, learned something, and see you soon for the continuation of this great stuff to come.